Hi everyone, Thomas Hyman here. First of all, Happy New Year. It's January 2nd, and today I want to talk about teams. A lot of agents come to me and ask me, how do we go about starting a team? Is this the right time to start a team? How did you start your team? You know, when I first got into real estate, I wanted to build a high volume business, and the only way you're going to do a couple hundred transactions a year is through a team structure. So I went and sought out successful teams and modeled what they were doing. So I have a lot of experience with building teams, and I've done hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of transactions a year. The most listings I ever had was right around 250 active listings at one time. So how do you go about starting a team, and should you start a team? I'm going to do a lot of trainings on that subject, but today I just want to give you a little bit of a primer and give that, make that food for thought for you to start to think about if this is something that you want to do. So the first question is why? Why do you want to start a team? It's obviously a hot topic. Everyone's talking about teams. All the big agents are running teams. And the number one reason really in my mind to start a team is to create more leverage. Now this does not mean so you don't have to work anymore. There are a handful of teams that actually manage to build a business that is run like a true corporation, and where the team leader has a CEO role and the team is not branded to them, and eventually they can step back from that. But 99.999% of teams are not structured that way. And so when I say creating more leverage, I mean the ability to do more transactions. As a typical real estate agent, you're wearing 35 different hats, and you have literally 35, 40, 50 different jobs if you break it down, and we're going to get to that into different trainings. And there's only so much you can do. You can't work with 10, 15, 20 buyers simultaneously. So you have your time limiting factor. You only have 24 hours in a day. There's only so much you can do. And in order to succeed, you have to provide really amazing raving fan type customer service, an incredible experience. And so by building a team, you create leverage for yourself. And how do you go about it? Well, the first step is to write out all of the different functions that you have right now, all the different hats that you're wearing. And a fantastic resource that I highly recommend you to read before you do anything is Michael Gerber's E-Myth Revisited, where he really goes through the process of taking your job. And most real estate agents really have a job, they own the job, but they don't run a business, and to break it down into the different functions. And you want to assign job descriptions to different roles, and initially you're the one that is wearing all the hats, you're the one that is running all the roles, but you need to get clarity on what are the roles within your business, within your real estate practice. And then ask yourself, okay, which of these areas do I love? Which of these areas are the highest payoff activities? If you're busy doing $10, $50, $20 an hour work, you're never going to make $100 or $200 an hour. So you need to start to get clarity on that, and then start to look for people to fill those roles and assign those roles to them. To me, myself, and for 99% of successful teams out there, the first step is an admin and marketing assistant. This could be an excellent VA. You want to look for excellence, not the cheapest. I personally hired someone in office, and that person was my go-to person, my marketing assistant, my admin assistant, and my transaction coordinator all in one. Once things got rolling, I hired a second person, but she went ahead and did everything for me that I didn't want to do, and that was keeping me from talking to prospective clients, following up with leads, going on listing appointments, going out with buyers. So she did all of the organization of buyer showing. She created all of the showing packages. She created the CMAs that are then reviewed. She created the listing packages. She entered everything into the MLS. She made sure that the ads were running. Back then in real estate magazines and newspapers. Today you would have someone manage your social media and online marketing, obviously. And so those roles, admin assistant, marketing assistant, and then transaction coordinator, are the most important roles. And today you have the ability to outsource those things. So you can hire a virtual assistant, you can hire a transaction coordinator firm to provide those services to free you up so you can now focus on generating business, on becoming a rainmaker, focus on following up aggressively with your leads, focus on creating massive content for your online marketing campaign and for your branding, and generate more business. And you really should be the person that does all of the business, buyer side and listing side, until you get to the point where you have more than you can handle. It absolutely makes no sense to bring on 1 or 2 buyer agents that are going to take your buyer side of the business, and now you're only getting half the money because the standard split is 50-50, and you still have idle time yourself where you could be doing more. So the admin side, the paperwork, the busy work is the first thing that you need to outsource. When you get to the point where you have more buyer leads coming in, and most team leaders focus on the listing side, and then the listings generate buyer leads. When you get to the point where you have more buyer leads coming in than you can handle yourself effectively, then at that point you have to ask yourself, is the bottleneck my ability to follow up with those leads effectively? In that case, you want to partner with an ISA firm. And I highly recommend Agentology, which now is called Verse, V-E-R-S-E. So if you just type in agentology.com, you're going to get to Verse, or it's verse.io. I don't have any benefit from that. But they are one great provider. There are others out there. I would make sure they stack against them in terms of services provided and cost. But for individual agents, they seem to be one of the better platforms out there. So that would be your next step then. Now you have so many leads coming in, you can't handle them yourself. You get an ISA service to do the initial lead follow-up, which will free you up again. You can work with more buyers, sellers, etc. yourself. And strategically, I would focus on trying to get listing side business, because you cannot work with 5, 10, 15, 20 buyers, but you can easily run 20, 30 listings simultaneously. And as your pipeline begins to build, and again, you get to the point where you no longer have the ability to do everything yourself. And for me, at that time, that was when I did about 50 to 60 transactions. That was now the point when I looked at bringing buyer agents onto my team. And why would a buyer agent join you? What is the value proposition for you to get someone to join your team? And there are really only 2 things that you provide as an effective team leader. The first one is you're the rainmaker, you're providing leads. That buyer agent is going to do 4, 5, 6 transactions a month because you're going to keep their pipeline filled. The second thing you're going to do is you're going to train them from ground up. And my philosophy always has been, and most successful team leaders work the same way, is to find new people, people that are fresh, people that are smart, people that are ambitious, people that have the right disc model personality profile, and then train them your way. So in order to make that work, you need to have a training system in place that you can then use to train those people in the right way to do the business the way you want to do it, in the way you know is effective in terms of taking incoming leads, converting them to buyers, creating an amazing customer service experience for those buyers, and so forth. So I hope this gives you a little bit of food for thought. It's not something where you just say, okay, I'm going to start a team and run off the road, so to speak. And if you're just starting out, or if your business is marginal, meaning you can easily do everything yourself, or you could hire a VA and still do 99% of the stuff yourself, then don't start thinking about hiring a buyer agent. That makes absolutely no sense. So again, the stepping stones are get an admin/marketing assistant, then transaction coordinator. They could be the same person or they could be virtual people. Then potentially an ISA service like Agentology or Verse, and then start looking at buyer agents to build out your team. So if you find this interesting, please comment. And feel free to ask me any questions, and I will be happy to do more specific training on different steps in building a team and help me make that happen as we enter 2020. Have a fantastic day. Again, my name is Thomas Hyman, and I look forward to the opportunity to talk to you again.